しないか。行くぜ。When you didn't think. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, what's up, everybody? And welcome to another episode of the Chicken Nugget Podcast, where we talk about chicken nuggets every day, all day, 24/7, 365. What?
My bad. We got to do it again. If for some odd reason, even to start recording, and
no, fuck you. We leaving that intro in. I ain't doing it again. Hit record now.
Just send me audio on your end, and I'll
yeah. Like, fuck you. This is like the one time.
I don't know why I didn't do it.
It's the one time where I go through an intro with
flubbing,
without flubbing and knowing exactly what I want to say. It's the one time, and then you're like, we're gonna do that intro again. Fuck you, no. Just fuck you, no.
Oh shit! How's your week, Don?
I mean, bad, but the world's been on fire too. So hey.
And the world's been burning for the last couple of weeks, man. It's kind of like that meme where that dog is just sitting in a burning house and it's like, this is fine. This is where I'm at right now.
Have you seen, like, everybody was like, there's this new meme coming out. It's like, and it is just people talking about, like, when you didn't think 2020 would get worse, the universe replies back, bet. So on top of
God.
Like George Floyd, Breonna Taylor stuff,
mm-hmm.
and now pandemic stuff on the rise again, especially in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And our president being an ass.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen even some of the voters things, right? I've heard for Joe Biden that there's a lot of black people that are going for Joe Biden, and it comes to question in my head are they voting for Joe Biden just because they want Trump out of office, or you know what I mean? It's one of those questions that I ask.
It boils down, it boils down to that let me rephrase this. It boils down to the fact that Biden is the Democrat nominee, so everybody had to drop out. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so Biden won that Democrat nominee. And now everybody's like, all right, I'm going to vote for Biden. Obviously, and we could, I don't know if you type of person to argue about it or whatever, but when it comes to voting, you can always write in a person that you want to throw your vote to. If you don't want to vote for either person, you could always write in a person.
Mm-hmm.
But the likelihood of that person that you wrote in winning is very, very little.
I mean, it gets to I would say it gets to the point
where people think like if you write somebody in, you're throwing your vote away, which isn't the case, not necessarily. But if everybody was on the same consensus of like, hey, let's all write in Kamala Harris, Bernie Sanders, or somebody else, then that person that everybody decided to write in will win.
But when's the last time in the U.S. that everybody was on the same page, honestly, though?
I mean, that, it has never happened. It just never has happened. But
oh my God.
It is the main reason why we have two major parties to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all fucked. It's all fucked. But I don't know if you've been paying attention to like the gaming industry the past week.
Oh yes, I have, boy. I mean,
there's been a lot of sexual assault allegations.
Dr. Durst
got banned,
right? And then I feel like there's other stuff,
but nobody
too.
knows for what yet.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I got, bro. I'm like, I'm kind of hoping that nobody ever does. In a weird thing, you know what I mean? The gossip kind of what the fuck did he do? Kind of, because even some of his sponsors pulled out on him.
Last night, like I don't know what's going on with the doc or anything like that, but and nobody's really talking about that at the moment, even though everybody's still wondering because nobody nobody's came out with a statement, just that he's been banned off of Twitch for good.
Just nutty.
But last night, and I'll tell you, this came out of fucking nowhere for me.
What?
I was watching this League of Legends streamer, Natsumi, but she wasn't playing League. She was playing Minecraft.
Okay.
And like sometimes, like I was laying in bed, so I didn't have I was watching on mobile, and I didn't have the chat up. I hate watching chat on mobile. It feels like it stutters the stream a bit.
I don't get what you mean.
But I'll explain it later. This is more important.
Okay.
So I'm watching her play Minecraft, and out of nowhere, she just like stops. She looks at chat and she's like, "What's going on?" I guess everybody's like telling her to check Twitter. And so Lily, the
Lily Pichu
artist on Offline TV, friends with Pokey, Scara, Disguised Toast, yada yada yada. List goes on.
Yeah.
She came out with a sexual allegation story, and somebody else in the house came out with their sexual allegation story.
Holy shit!
It was against a member of the house, and I was like, fuck. Like at the beginning of everything, it was like one of those moments where you see a lot of people getting called out. Like earlier last week, I think it wasn't. It was some kind of, I forget the name of the guy. It's not Co-Carnage. I think it's something else with the Carnage in his name. He got called out for sexual assault.
Sexual assault?
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing. I've been hearing a lot of the allegations going around, right? But everybody's been very cryptic of it. You know what I mean? So people who know about it know about it. Like, I guess like it's kind of my fault. I never like actually looked up who it was, but I've been like hearing it filter through on Twitch while I've been around, and I've been hearing a lot of people talk about like this person did this or did, you know what I mean? And but they never said their name. You know what I mean? And then there's a guy. He says like, I got tired of like a streamer on Twitch. He's like, he knows the guy, and the guy posted to Instagram trying to like make it seem like a whole pity thing, like he was a victim or something like that. And then he got his butthole torn open on Twitter, as Twitter usually does, and stuff like that. And then he was all like, I got tired of the guy, you know what I mean? Because, me, like people will come to me and try to tell me to speak sense into him, but, I mean, it just wasn't really even working or anything like that. And I don't know, man, just listening to like his story and like stuff like that, it got me super interested. I just never got around to like looking it up to figure out who was the dirtbag.
So I can't remember who the guy was that got in trouble earlier this week, but it was somebody that because I was watching a Broman stream, and he was talking about it, and they did a statement on Twitter about this guy that they let in the Guardian Con like years ago, and then there was allegations, but because he wasn't like, there wasn't a
definite evidence
police report there, like there wasn't a report, they couldn't actually do anything, but then like they eventually kicked his ass out, and he still kept coming back. He kept making the girls feel awkward and stuff like that. But in respect to the victim, they kept everything silent, but just tried their best to keep them separated until she was ready to come out with her side of the story, and she finally did, and everything. And so that was the first one I heard. Then there was something about somebody else, and then last night I was just chilling, and then Fedmeister, I don't know if you even know, but part of OTV.
Yeah.
He was the one that was crossing boundaries with his housemates. Is like the nicer way to put that.
Okay.
So
that's,
and it's It's sad because Lily put out her story last night.
Yeah.
And she tweeted it. I read it and everything. And then then she deleted it because she was getting a lot of hate from his fans.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of people that was talking about like, oh, this is just a publicity stunt, yada yada yada. If you did this, if you confronted him in private, why are you doing it out in public now or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
These are people that you obviously didn't read a goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Because in her story,
I didn't read it either. But like, if they're gonna say it like that, I'm kind of like, I'm sitting here, I'm like, did she confront him in private? Did she say that in the tweet? Like, what's going on? I don't have enough information. Yeah. I can't pick a side.
Yeah. in her tweet and in Yvonne's tweet, they said they had a whole house meeting about it to confront him about his ways, to hopefully he changed his ways. And he seemed super apologetic about it at the time, but then he did it again, not to them, but to other people in their friend group. And so then they came out publicly with it. So it was handled in private. He didn't adhere to the warning.
Well, here's the thing, right? I don't know. This is like probably...
I'm going to fight you on this one. Depending on your answer, I'm going to fight you on this.
Here's the thing, though. You know what I mean? If they confronted him, right? Mm-hmm. And he said he was sorry, you know what I mean? But he turns out he never did it to them again. But depending on what kind of actions that he was doing, too, like if he just flirts with a girl that's like outside of the house, too, you know what I mean? It depends. Like, what are his actions? Is what I'm like concerned about.
I'll tell you his actions, because when there's sexual assault involved, there's a thin line between flirting and not flirting. And I think a lot of men think what they're doing is flirting when it's not. So in Yvonne's case, she was with her boyfriend at the time, and Fed came in drunk. I'm gonna do the TLDR. Anybody who wants to read any of this, you could go to Ivani on Twitter, I believe is her Instagram handle or her Twitter handle, but or Yvonne, Ivani at Ivani on Twitter. So Fed came in drunk, and usually they like go into each other's rooms and they watch movies. So she thought this was a time very much similar to this. And so he came in drunk. She goes to sleep, and then she wakes up. He is holding her hand. He's like, oh, that is nothing of it at first. And then he slides his hand down her shirt, like the sleeve of her shirt, and touches... She said, not touch my breast exactly, but my side that was very close to my chest. And that took her off guard. And then it was like very weird. And then she said she felt frozen and couldn't move. He eventually took his hand out and pretended to go back to sleep. And then 10 minutes later woke up and asked, how did I get here? And walked out. And he was like, okay, he's drunk or whatever.
Nah.
That was her train of thought too. When she asked him about it the next day, he said he didn't remember anything. And so she said, okay, he doesn't remember anything. It was a total accident. He shows up again, I think like the next day or a couple weeks later, however the train or the series of events goes, drunk again. And he comes in, he says, I apologize for what I did last time. I overstepped my bounds. And so that solidified to her that he knowingly did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was Ivani's story about Fed. And then Lily's story was she had just broken up with Albert, and she was very vulnerable, and then she was drunk. And then Fed came in, asked her if she wanted a massage, and he was massaging her all the way up to her upper thigh, and then told her that he liked her and asked if they want to go out, and she turned him down, and then he left, and then said, but he said, and he said, please don't tell anybody about this. And then same thing with Yvonne. He asked her not to tell anybody about this, and or as if she had told anybody. She said she had told her boyfriend at the time, but he won't say anything. And then Fed's response was like something like, good, it's best for him if he doesn't. Kind of cryptic bullshit like that. And I was like, that sounds like a threat to me.
It does sound like very much of a threat. Yeah, it's very much of a threat. I don't know, man. Yeah, he's definitely in the wrong. He's definitely in the wrong. But the issue that I have is the biggest thing I have, right? The one, like, I think both of those situations like a very dirtbag thing to do, right? There's a timing thing that comes up with it. You know what I mean? I think for some guys, they're like, let's say in Lily's situation, right? Some guys, they've been eyeing this girl for a long time, even though while she was in a relationship, and they kept their distance during that whole period. And as soon as like they got the opportunity to slide in, you know what I mean? They don't ever think about, hey, maybe I should like give her some space or some time. They've just been waiting for so long. Like, you get what I mean? Definitely in Yvonne's situations, that's just straight up dirtbag move. At this point, I'm pretty sure he knew she had. It's
in Lily's situation, that's still a dirtbag move.
Yeah.
Because you're obviously trying to take advantage of a very vulnerable situation.
Here's the thing: I don't think even people, like some people, I don't think they think up to that level of
that's
manipulation.
That's the problem, though.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
People need to think that.
Yeah.
And that's like the whole issue with everybody getting Me Too nowadays is because dudes can't see past themselves.
Nah.
Right?
Nah. How old is Fed, by the way?
Fed is like 24.
24?
Maybe. Like, he's around our age.
Jesus. So, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Like, because I don't even want to say it's the age thing that comes with time. No, this is something like that should be taught at a younger age, first of all, and then there's like something that needs to be rehashed. I'm just looking at it. I guess Pokey had said a statement because everybody's getting on them for like,
4 hours ago.
This in private. Yeah, if you did this in private, why do it in public? Her statement is so much clearer. It's like, if someone isn't listening privately and you are aware of their power and influence, likelihood they'll continue behaving inappropriately. So it's in the best interest for everybody, even other women that may be involved, if you come out with it publicly and then give everybody a fair warning. I'm like, I'm full on with that. Because if he's not trying to change his ways, why stay quiet about it and then let it happen to somebody else?
Yeah, that's true. That's
the biggest point of this. Is like yeah, you talk to him in private, but he's still doing what he does.
That's very much true. Very much true.
So I'm gonna go tell this person, I'm gonna go tell that person, I'm gonna tell that person. It's like, okay, now he's not talking to our friend, like anybody in our friend group, but who else is he talking to like this? Oh, or like treating people this way. It's like, let me just tell the entire Twitch universe.
And also, I feel like Fed is probably like such personality wise, he's probably such like an open person in general that girls might get like hella comfortable around him, and then he might interpret that as in like, they like me. You know what I mean? It's hard, bro.
I can't speak. It's hard to speak on somebody's personality. And I watched Fed. Every time Fed came on, I was like, I will watch him, because he does have his stream personality is like really good. I don't know what he's like in his personal life. If it's anything like his stream personality, I see flaws in it already.
Well,
but
here's the thing, like just going basic off of what Yvonne wrote in her post, right? Fed was the first friend I felt like I made at offline TV. He was very welcome, and I spent most of the time with him out of everyone.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I mean? I feel like it's a classic case of somebody thinking that, you know what I mean, the feelings being reciprocated, and then he pushes for
Well,
it.
here's the thing.
Yeah.
It's not at the same time.
Yeah, of course,
Like,
Yvonne had a boyfriend at the time, too.
this is you
crazy part.
reading a thing. I'm gonna give you backstory on Yvonne. Yvonne's been in a relationship since she was 16 years old.
No, damn.
So before she even got into offline TV, she already had a boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a person that, and this is what I was watching something. I think it was on David So's podcast where he had the like the pickup artist on there.
Mm-hmm.
But he was saying something like a lot of guys have ulterior motives. I can't say that Fed had an ulterior motive. He might have been all like,
Mm-hmm.
this is a friend. She's new around the house. I'm gonna be friendly. That was probably his motive, and then somewhere down the line, he probably caught weird feelings.
These ulterior motives sometimes they're not always like planned or on set. You feel what I mean? It's like it's one of those days that, like, even for me, like, right, it's gonna be one of those days, right? Not that I've ever done anything like this, but it's one of those days where you feel extremely lonely. You feel me? And then like you overstep boundaries that you're not supposed to. You know what I mean? And like I could see, like, even like me looking at myself from like a outside view, I can see myself like in that kind of situation. Of course, I wouldn't do that shit, but I could see myself if I was around a girl that I really enjoyed spending time with, and I felt like lonely. You get what I mean? To, you know what I mean, try to get more than a friendship thing going. You know what I mean?
I don't
know. It's like that moment of weakness.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't get it. That's the problem. I understand what you're saying. I don't get that mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And this was another thing, like one of the pickup artists was talking about, is like, the reason why like guys and girls feel betrayed in like certain situations is because of their lack and inability to actually form a relationship. Like, guys will go into one and like fall head over heels for a girl, try to ask her out, and she's like no, and then the dude would be like, fuck this bitch, been stringing me along this entire time. And then the girl feels betrayed because she honestly thought she had a good friendship with you, and then you came out of nowhere with the 1-2 punch, and then was like, fuck you, fuck this guy, he's like everybody else, he just wants some pussy. So it's like it boils down like to like both parties don't know how to form an actual relationship or even communicate what that relationship is. He was saying something like there's like
even after
like
it's communicated,
3 stages. There's 3 stages that needs to be met first, and there's like I'm not going to remember it, but I remember 2 stages, and there's like a comfort stage and an attraction stage. Like the girl has to, and I forget the third one, but like the girl has to feel comfort and attraction in order for you to be like in a intimate relationship with them. A lot of guys skip the comfort stage and go, or I think it's like friendship, I think is one of the stages, but like they skip friendship and go straight into attraction and comfort sometimes, and then they think that's all they need, but the girl is probably still at the friendship level with you. You have to build the comfort then and the attraction in order to get somewhere, but guys go straight for the attraction. That's where like we miscommunicate of what we want all the time. And I'm like, and I was like, and like just looking back, I'm like, I've definitely done this.
You went straight for the attraction.
It was like you have a guy has to first show his value to the girl. That's what it was, and vice versa. Like the girl has to show value to the guy. So once you show value, comfort and attraction, everything should go hand in hand in order to produce a relationship. And I definitely, in my past, definitely haven't shown value. I might have, and I don't know that, but I've definitely skipped probably the comfort stage and went straight into attraction.
I'm gonna say this like up front for like just knowing you for a while, in my opinion in general. I think one of the values that a girl would probably have being around you is probably like safety and how should I say? You seem like a very well put together person. If I had to like use my words.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
Like, that's fine and all, but it's like, it's definitely not the reason why. I'm not saying this is the reason why I don't get girlfriends or whatever. I'm just saying, like, I in my past, I know that I definitely didn't try to comfort somebody like how they should have been comforted, or tried to put value into their lives with mine, or vice versa. I went straight for attraction. I think you're attractive. Let's go out. Like, there's no value to her with me to her. Right.
And the value would be like your ability to make her laugh, like your ability to make her feel safe. You know what I mean?
And then that also on the girl, it's just like values, like even like as far as like mental stimulation goes, not even just security, mental stimulation, good conversation. Like there goes the comfort side of things. So now I'm a really good friend. So here's the problem. I'm the really good friend that's now trying to holla at you when you probably don't even find me attractive. And I can't even blame her on that, because if she doesn't find me attractive and only sees me as a brother, that's it. Yeah.
The issue is how you supposed to know
I'm still trying to like
until you try.
In, like, I'm up here trying to dig in, ruining like a good friendship because I thought that we honestly had feelings for each other when that wasn't even communicated. Especially if I'm like, hey, let's be friends at first, and then I'm like, hey, I like you.
That's part of having the discussion. That's part of having the discussion. You get what I mean? It's a lot better than like, you know what I mean, you tried to pull something and then you're like, I like you. You know what I mean?
I honestly think I don't know how you feel about this. You should read. There's been a lot of these, so I suggest you read every last one of them, not just this one, not Lily's. I think Lily deleted hers anyway because people were shitting on it and her, which we shouldn't be doing that. I understand innocent until proven guilty, but when the motherfucker is like basically admitting, yeah, I did this, you should not shit on the victim at all.
It's the fucking internet, dude.
Like, I did not understand that part. Like how in the hell, like if we go to Fed's page now, it's like, I don't know if he tweeted out anything since, but he's definitely tweeted out, first of all, I want to apologize. I want to start off this statement by apologizing for my absence the past few days. Earlier this week, some of my friends sat me down and expressed that I had on several occasions made them feel uncomfortable and uneasy. I made it a point this year to be better, and as I often mention, I'm trying to take more responsibility in my life. I owe it to both my friends and everyone who supports me to own up to my actions, and that starts by listening to those I've hurt. I want to make it clear that my intentions were never to act maliciously or predatorily. I am flawed. I have issues that impede my friendships, issues with myself, but I am not a predator, and I never wanted this to happen. And he linked to their stories and everything.
Here's the thing, right? Here's what I'm like having an issue with, right? How bad was it that they felt like, I mean, it had to be pretty bad for them to feel like they needed to like publicly throw it out there, right?
Yeah.
You get what I mean? I feel like his way of testing things is not good.
I don't know if that's testing it though.
But like at the same time, it's almost like, is he repeat offending? Like how many times
with Yvonne? Yeah,
you know what I mean. How many times with the, you know what I mean. And then they sat him down. After they sat him down and they like talked and they explained this to him, right? Did he still continue to do it? You get what I mean?
That's the thing. I assume that's the case. That's the reason why they came out with it.
You know, if they sat him
Like
down, they spoke to him, and then he did it again.
Twice, if it happened to Yvonne twice, it happened to Lily, and then it happened to multiple friends in their friend group. It's not like just because somebody comes out with a good apology doesn't mean like they're inherently a good person. Either.
Nah. That's not what I'm getting at.
Mean, yeah, I know, but it's like I don't want to make like it's weird. We definitely live in a time where when a girl puts out a statement like this, we have to believe her. We have to take what she says seriously and not give the accused the benefit of the doubt. But when it's so cut and dry, and then the accused is like, hey, I want to apologize. Basically, yes, I did this. I didn't mean to do it. Like how it comes out. I didn't mean to, and I have issues, and I know that. And it's like, so you know what you did. You apologize, and I assume this is the reason why they came out, because it happened again with somebody else in their friend group, and it's not like stopping. Because if it happened to Yvonne twice and it happened to Lily, who knows? And they come out and said it happened to multiple friends in their friend group after that point. I'm like, yeah, something needs to be said. If you already talked to them, then yeah, something needs to be said. Like it's here's just the same as like if you have an issue, if you have an issue with. And me and you talked about this before. Like me and you both have an issue with people talking too much about our own shit. Right. So if I tell you something, I don't expect you to go tell everybody else in 1,000. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna say, hey, yo, shut the fuck up. Vice versa, you would tell me, hey, yo, shut the fuck up. How did he hear about this? I'm like, nigga, you tweeted it. I didn't say shit. Or, yeah, my bad, that slipped up, but I didn't say that part, or something like that. Right? And then if it happens again, you know, after the talk moment, and then it was like, then me and you both learned, okay, don't tell this motherfucker nothing. Don't tell him nothing no more. Or don't tell him everything. So it's like one of those things is where I feel like most people operate on this. It's like, I'm gonna confront you first, and then OTV seems like a very level-headed group, to where they will probably really work on the same thought process. Is like, we talked about this. He's still doing it. All right, then. Yeah, I'm gonna just warn people now. Like it's only been them two that came out, but there's other people apparently that he's done this to, and I'm very interested to hear their story.
Here's the thing, right? This is why things like this always, like, how should I say, get me? I've been accused of shit before. Nothing like on this caliber, right? I think, and because it happened to me at such a young age, it's always hard for me to go full on like pitchforks at somebody that's been accused of something. I mean,
it all depends.
And that's just my own personal hang up.
Yeah. I mean, it depends if it's a lie or if you honestly don't see it that way.
Yeah.
So I mean, we could talk about it off the podcast, but if you don't see it that way, maybe I could help you see it the way that she probably saw it. Or if it was a bald-faced lie, then that's the problem.
I definitely see it, right? But here's the thing, right? I don't know the guy. Period. You know what I mean? Okay. And also
not really, not really, because I don't know the story.
And also like I'm a very, very empathetic person. You get what I mean? And like, although I will say this for a fact, right? It was wrong. You know, what he did was wrong. But like, I'm always empathetic to the point where like, even in his situation, I could see like how it happened. Like from what was told, right? I can honestly like see how it happened and why it happened. You get what I mean? Because I've been there. I felt those emotions. The only difference between me and him is I didn't act on them.
Here's the problem, though. You are inserting yourself in his position, thinking that maybe he caught feelings for this girl and he's going to try to make a move. That's probably not the case. Like, there's a whole different street that's like being very vastly overlooked. You see this person and you think, I could hit that, so I'm gonna try. Maybe she's willing to step out on her boyfriend, and I'm not trying to make a move on her. Like, I'm not trying to be her next boyfriend or anything, but I'm gonna just see if I could get some. I'm lonely and I'm horny.
Dude,
I'm gonna try to see if I could get some.
I met countless of dudes like that. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm completely throwing that out the window. It's the fact that I'm stuck in the limbo where I don't know.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like, I can't. Here's the problem of like, let's look at what's been said. You can feel bad for every person in this situation. That's fine. My only, like, coming out of this, like, reading everything, I'm like, hopefully the girls don't get shitted on for this.
For facts.
2, I hope Fed doesn't get shitted on for this. I hope he learns a lesson from this and improves upon himself, as opposed to being like everybody else in the comments is just saying, y'all lying, this and that or another, or what's so wrong about what he did? You were single. It's like, 1, she wasn't single, and 2, if you're supposed to be that person's friend, you don't that doesn't give you the right to make a move on that person. You're not, technically, if a person is in another relationship with somebody else, you're not supposed to make a move on that person at all.
That's actually reason enough. Facts. That's reason enough. And then I would also say it's I think here's another thing too, right? Not trying to like victim shame here, right? There is I think there's always supposed to be like some kind of boundary that's set. Me knowing myself, I personally set that boundary, but I think for a lot of other girls, they're so friendly and comfortable. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Either it was how they were raised, you know what I mean? How they like interacted with their friends, right? They're so happy and comfortable that even for me, like, if there is a girl that's a friend, there's actually some boundaries that I set. You know what I mean? And those boundaries are literally to protect her from any time that I feel lonely and she's there. You get what I mean? And I think like some girls could use to set that kind of boundary, no matter how good of friends you are with another dude, you know what I mean? Especially if they're heterosexual, that boundary should still be there. You know what I mean? I set it for myself because not every girl does it.
Well, here's the thing: not every girl is expecting to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You're good, like, I know what you're saying, but it's like to say like girls need to set this boundary is dumb. Like, it's also the same reason why it's like it's the whole mentality like about like free the nipple. It's like, why should we cover up our breasts because there's some horny guys walking around? Fuck you for telling me I need to put on clothes. Tell them to stop being horny. And if you don't understand that, we could talk about that later. But it's just the fact that it's like, you are a friend. Should I really be watching my back against you? Because if you telling me I need to, then we got a problem already.
I don't know, man. It's rough. It's hard. It's hard.
It's like
I do it.
I don't like these types of jokes that you make. So I'm gonna let you know, hey, I punch people for a lot less. So either you take that as, okay, I can't say these jokes around Donnovan no more.
Yeah.
Or I'm not going to hang around them because
first of all,
because of this.
First of all, this is the kind of personality I am. I'd rather just like a civil talk than to just go straight up to threatening. I know that's not what you would do, but like, yeah, it gets to that. And like just talking on the situation again, right? I feel that like most, like, it would be dope if both parties can do it, right? A friend would say that you need to, but this isn't like, you know how emotions can't always necessarily be controlled. You get what I mean? Is what I'm getting at. You know, like there are moments.
Let me reiterate.
Yeah.
Let me reiterate that last statement. Some emotions, yes, cannot be controlled. When you feel anger, you feel anger. When you feel happy, you're happy. When you're horny, you're horny. But in between that point where an action has to occur, you can control said action. If you're horny and you're willing to fuck anything that walks, then leave the fucking house and go fuck anything that walks. You ain't got to fuck your friend or try to fuck your friend.
Yeah, I mean, but like,
go get you a prostitute or something like that if you feeling that horny. I mean, open up Tinder if you feeling that horny. The action, like emotions, yes, you can't control emotions. When it pops up, you pop up. But you can control your actions after that point.
Not everyone has that self-control, and that's a problem. You know what I mean? We're not all born. You know what I mean? With the same ability to like have that self-control. You know what I mean? And that's why like sometimes I completely remove myself from the situation. There are some things that I know that I have a very rough time controlling, and I either try to over time change how I think about things so I can make it easier on myself, or B, I find ways to completely remove myself from the situation so I don't get caught in that situation. Because it's like knowing yourself, you know what I mean? You get to know yourself, right? And like in a situation like this, it's like, you know what I mean? It would have been dope if Fed knew himself enough to where like, hey, I'm feeling extra lonely right now. I just had a few drinks. I probably shouldn't go home. You know what I mean? Or
he was already home.
Yeah, or I probably shouldn't go to Yvonne's room or something like that, right? Sometimes it could have been like, it could have started off as simple, just like, I want to talk to my friend for some comfort. You know what I mean? And then like while he was in there, things changed in his head to all of a sudden, you know what I mean? Sometimes like his body probably moved before he even started thinking about like, why is this wrong? What he was doing. It's just, there's certain situations that.
Here's the problem with that is the fact that he was like, you given the caveat that he was drunk and he can't control his actions. I imagine if he was, at least in Yvonne's story, he wasn't all that drunk, if to the point where he pretended to go back to sleep and then pretended not to know anything, and then came back later and was like, hey, I'm sorry, I overstepped my boundaries last time. Yeah. And I can't say he was pissed off drunk. Maybe you can't
you can never really tell
when somebody's like pissed off drunk
enough.
You're like, you're done. You're done. You probably don't even know how you even stood up. But from the sound of the story, he was like tipsy and lonely, and he tried to play it off as like, I'm drunk, I'm finna cop a feel real quick. That's the part that's like very like it's pretty messed
weird
up of the story.
It's pretty messed up. But I'm also just gonna I'm still gonna stick with the part where I'm saying like it's like in like the moment that you feel lonely. And you could think of just one person that's in the house that you feel comfort there, and then like things just get out of hand, you know. And it's like it is an actual like emotion that like I've personally felt. You know what I mean?
As a sober person, or as
a sober person, I've personally
and
felt
the person this. The person in the house is reciprocating an emotion to allow.
I mean, here's the thing. It's one of those like
whatever it's about to happen.
Nothing happened. that's the great part, right? Because I was aware enough to understand that I shouldn't go anywhere near, you know what I mean, somebody while feeling like this. If that person, you know what I mean, they were very like extremely friendly, extremely nice. You know what I mean? Somebody I felt like I could always talk to. You get what I mean?
So yeah. On the flip side of your argument, though, that not a lot of people can control or whatever their
it's like a in the moment. It's like an in the moment thing. You know what I mean? I'm not saying people can't control it. Yeah.
Yeah. On the flip side of that argument, which is like very possible this happens like 99% of the time, is that they know full well what they're doing and they're just trying to push it to see what they can get away with. Because I don't know if you read the entire thing, but because Fed is basically like her boss, Like Yvonne, at least Yvonne isn't like a member of OTV. She's the house manager, so she like cleans the house, get food and stuff like that. So she is hired by OTV, and so I think towards the end somewhere she was saying she didn't want to speak out about this because she felt like it would bring a lot of hate towards OTV and have the
company
OTV
fall.
entity like just crash down to the ground and everything. So she kept quiet about stuff like this, and then also being her boss, she was probably afraid that she might lose her job or something like that. Who knows what the case might be? Maybe people she thought were her friends wouldn't believe her and stuff like that, and say that she was lying. And then that hurts more than anything when you think that's like fucked up when like if you think somebody might like people that you would call friends like won't believe you, then you like what I thought I built an actual relationship with these people, but they don't believe in me. And then the one friend that I thought was a super good friend tried to have sex with me. Yeah. Like it's just like guys really need to learn
self-control.
Not self-control. Well, self-control, yes. But they need to know how to communicate with a person.
Sometimes here's the problem with that, right? They'll get the message, right? Some girls, which I love girls that are like that, right? They're laid out very cleanly and clearly, right? You're a friend. I can never see you as anything but a friend. You know what I mean? You're like my brother, and so and so. Some guys just yeet that out their brain anyways and try it anyways.
I mean, that's fed.
Yeah.
That's fed. Because Lily told him, you're like a brother to me. And next thing you know, Lily's drunk and Fed's massaging her upper thigh. So it's a very, like, for me, it's very hard to feel some type of sympathy for Fed. Like, other than the fact that it's like, I watched you. You seem like a really cool person. You have your flaws that I see on stream. But knowing this type of information is like very damning. And I'm like, fuck. Like, I wish you the best. And this is exactly what Lily and Yvonne said at the end of towards the end of their statements. Is like, we still love him as a friend. And we hope he gets all the help he can get, but he needs to learn that this is not okay. Like when he puts girls in these situations, it's not okay because we don't know what to do. And because you're like, oh, that's like they even said it's like, oh, that's like he has like that playful, flirty with girls type of behavior, and they were like, oh, that's just Fed. Oh, that's like they play it off like that. It's like, oh, that's just Fed. Like I could say, oh, that's just Greg. Greg makes dumbass jokes all the goddamn time. But the moment a girl comes out and is like, in Fed's case, and like says, yeah, Fed did this and then that, it was like very weird. It was awkward. I kind of don't want to hang around him anymore. It just feels weird about him. And he keeps texting me all the time. I don't feel comfortable. And then you really like, okay, now I can't just say, oh, that's just how Fed acts, when it probably is leading towards like it's like going fishing and throwing out a lot of bait and see which one is going to like catch it and like who's going to get hooked on it and shit. And it's like it's weird. It's very weird, and it's just like I just feel that hopefully he gets all the help he can get, and he comes out all right. I like last night I was just sitting up there and I was like, hopefully nobody kills themselves over this. Like hopefully they can realize that.
I hope you mean like,
yes,
like
it
I hope you
sucks
mean
right
like
now.
mentally, like not like
no, I
physically,
mean very seriously. I hopefully nobody kills themselves over this. Because it's just like because everything could go into deep ass depression. Like fucking Lily deleted her statement because people were shitting on her, and her apology is like, honestly, I thought it wasn't that bad, but I asked friends and people around me who told me I was minimizing it, so I believed them. Anyway, won't happen again. Sorry for the last time. I'll move on now. I know people are telling me it's not my fault, but I'm too sad and unsure again. I should have said something at the time. I don't want to trivialize anybody's experience. It affected me poorly, but that could just be me. Like, so many people came at her saying what Fed did wasn't all that bad. He was just trying to make a move. It's like, you're single now. He was just trying to make a move. No, it's bad. And you make this girl feel bad because of it. And now she probably is going to be like, no matter what I do, no matter what I say, nobody's going to believe my side of the story. And stuff like this keeps happening to me. So I'm going to end it. I get the train of thought. Like, even with Fed, it's like, Fed is probably thinking right now, my whole career is over. Nobody's going to want to be my friend after this. Yada, yada, yada. I should end it. So it's the reason why I say, hopefully nobody kills themselves over this. And everybody learns and grow better as human beings. I wish Lily would delete these tweets apologizing for even putting up her fucking tweet in the first place, because she shouldn't apologize for it. Oh
God.
But
it
is what it is now.
It's how should I say this? It's a rough situation to be, right? I can see it from both Fed sides, and like I'm not a girl. I'm gonna be straight up honest, right? But even I can look at a girl's situation and like be like, for somebody to be in a power position over them, or you know what I mean, their job to kind of depend on like the success of this person that's causing this harm. You know what I mean? I can also like understand that. It's a rough situation all around. To be honest with you. You know what I mean? And I can't sit here and say what Fed did was not wrong. You get what I mean? All I'm saying is that, like, empathy speaking, like, I can see how it could happen to me. Not that I would, honestly, because I thank God, like, I'm aware of my own emotions enough to know, like, when I cannot be around certain people. You feel what I mean?
It's just, I just don't like that part of the statement. It's like, I'm aware of my own emotions when I know not to be around people.
Yeah.
Like, for this part speaking, like, if I'm mad, then yes, I know not to be around anybody, because my anger is probably just going to get thrown towards them, like displacement, aggression.
That's the one thing I don't have trouble with, but for the most part.
But it's like, I just don't like the thought of like displaced aggression. I understand. I don't understand displaced horniness, if that could be a term.
Because here's the thing, I don't think it was just horniness.
I mean, it's not just loneliness, because loneliness could be filled with just sitting with somebody.
But like, I think there's a different, like, maybe it's somewhere mixed between the two. You know what I mean? I think it's something else. It's like a longing to be liked by somebody who knows you. You know what I mean?
Who knows?
And it's one of those situations.
We can't speak on like Fed's mentality.
This is
be
me.
The case.
We're technically talking about me, and I'm saying this is how, if I was in Fed's situation, this is how this whole situation would even arise. You know what I mean?
It's so weird. It's different, because if you put yourself in that place, you're talking about loneliness and something else, to be liked by somebody you know, because it's familiar. Me, if I put myself in that situation, it is like 9 times out of 10, I'm just horny. It's not even about being liked by somebody I know, because I don't care about that part. It's like, I'm super lonely and I'm super horny, so I'm gonna text somebody real quick, see what's happening, because I've done it before. I've done that before, where like, it was back in Tallahassee, where it was just one late night. I was horny, and I'm like, I'm finna text somebody real quick. I knew her back in high school, but I didn't really know her like that. So I was like, I'm looking at her pictures. I'm like, yo, she look fine. So I'm gonna send over a fuckboy text, and then you know, didn't necessarily get the response I wanted back, so I come up with like some type of bullshit, you know,
like something like, my bad, I was drunk when I said that.
Yeah, or something, whatever the case would be. And I like, it's like one of those things that I cringe at now, and I wish I never had done it, because I'm like,
in Fed's specific situation, right? I think I do think it's a lot more of like what I'm describing, because he's lived in the house with these girls for like a good minute, right? Relationships have been built. You get what I mean?
How do you explain every other girl though? That's the problem.
I mean, I can't put every other girl in the exact same boat. I don't know how long he spent with any other girl. You get what I mean?
I mean, that's the thing.
All I know is
I can't give him this one.
Yeah, his feelings have been rejected for like what feels like a while. You get what I mean? There's something that I've come to learn, even like, I mean, I probably knew this like even before, right? That actually having a connection with a girl and then being in a relationship and then, you know, doing, you know, the sexy stuff is like 10 times more better than just like meeting a girl, having a one night stand with them. You get what I mean? The emotion is way more intense. The feelings are just a lot more. You get what I mean? Even that, knowing that, right? So like, I think inadvertently that's what he's kind of looking for. He's looking for somebody that, you know, he knows and she knows him, and they, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, what he did wasn't right. You know what I mean? And even then, I can't even say that this is like straight up the situation. Like you said, he could have just wanted to fuck. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, he could have just wanted to fuck.
Yeah.
But like, just me, like, this is just how I like look at things. Like, I try to think of like, how would this happen to me? And that's the only solution that I can come up with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it could go both ways. So like, I feel like extreme sympathy for like sympathy for both sides, mostly the girls. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, it's hard because like, the thing is, like 90% of the time I could say I'm in control. You know what I mean? 90% of the time I could say I'm in control, but every once in a while, man, I hit that all-time low and I make sure that I'm not around anybody when that happens. Yeah, it's a rough situation. And like you said, man, I hope nobody ends up killing themselves.
Yeah. We should end the podcast because I know we're well over time.
Yes.
So let's say thank you guys for listening. If you have your own take on like a situation like this, tweet at us, maybe, if you feel like it. We'll see you guys next time. All right. Bye.
Love you all. Thanks for listening.